Try it again, Charlie.
Test 1, 2.
One more time.
Test.
I hear you loud and clear right there, sir.
Loud and clear.
Test. Testing.
In
1, 2.
loud.
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, looks like you got those things set good.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll test a little bit, test some mics. I'll turn on the old system here. You know, one thing I did forget to do, guys, is know that I got the password. Remember last time we had published the password on the score app?
Let me try it, but I wonder if they can send you one right now.
I don't know.
I know we had issues at the football game as well. The last 3, when you were back and when Charlie was here as well. Dexter Demons, in, out, in. Goal!
I'll jump over to this other system really quick and just make sure it's now 6 o'clock. Typically, that system's about a minute or so behind, so I would guess we're on live, but I'll jump over to this other system. You know, I bet you this one needs to go down and this up slightly. You and I are usually the louder ones, and Charlie's usually the quieter one. And if we want to turn up our headset, then we'll just turn it up right there.
Awesome.
I'm going to take my set off for just a minute and see if I can hear us on the system and see if we sound okay, and then we'll get started with our pregame.
You can do that? Sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
While he does that, I'm going to run a commercial or two. See how those sound.
BTH Services is a locally owned and operated family-oriented business. BTH Services and Rental is a Porta-John and equipment rental company. BTH Services and Rental also clears right-of-ways and right-of-way reclamation. Please call 575-964-3104. That's 575-964-3104 for all of your company needs. BTH Services and Rental is also looking for a 1-ton CDL driver. Please apply at 2100 Avenue O in Eunice. BTH Services and Rental is a proud sponsor of Lee County Athletics.
Eunice has a friendly small-town atmosphere, great schools and churches, and a low cost of living. The entire community is very involved with all levels of sports and academics. The Eunice Department of Motor Vehicles office hours are Monday through Thursday, 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., and Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Eunice of Friendly's, now a wonderful community and amenities. Devon Energy is proud to support Eunice athletic programs. Devon is to succeed for a lifetime. From the Devon team to yours, Devon Energy wishes you good luck this season, both on the field and in the classroom. Go Cardinals! The Eunice Clinic is proud to support the Eunice Cardinals. Go Cardinals! You're the pride of Eunice. The Eunice Health Clinic offers many of the same basic services that many local physicians provide. They specialize in sick care for all ages, women's exams, physicals, health education, lab tests, and diagnostic studies. They're proud supporters of athletic and academic events. The Eunice Health Clinic is proud to back the Cardinals. Go Cards!
Eunice Pump and Supply has been around for over 30 years and is excited to continue their services to the community. They take pride in their employees and their hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply is a proud supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, another proud supporter of Lee County athletics. Eunice schools are excited to have students and staff back on campus and involved in another successful school term. It's been an eventful year, and the Eunice schools are ready for whatever comes their way. Eunice Public Schools provide high-quality educational experiences in a safe environment. The entire Eunice community is very involved with all levels of sports and academics. Eunice, a friendly small town with a wonderful community and amenities, and a fantastic school system.
The proud owners of Eunice Wrecker and Rental offer professional and reliable 24-hour roadside services in Lee County. Light to medium duty towing and recovery, fuel deliveries, jump starts, lockouts, and tire changes. They also haul off unwanted vehicles to help clean up your property. Eunice Wrecker and Rental have over 20 years of experience.
Parker Energy, family owned and operated since 2006. Their team is known for their hard work and dedication.
4665 Eunice Wrecker and Rental are located at 44 North New Mexico Highway 248, Eunice, New Mexico, mile marker 1.
Parker Energy, family owned and operated since 2006. Their team is known for their hard work and dedication, big enough to meet your needs for transport, pump trucks, vacuum trucks, and disposal services. Parker Energy and their staff are huge supporters of all Lee County sports and academics. They encourage their young adults to go the extra mile, whether it's sports, grades, or just being a better you. Parker Energy Support Services, 20 through 50 Avenue O, a proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
Bob Parker, owner of Redford LP Gas Company, and his employees are proud of their Eunice Cardinals. Bart, class of 1971, state champions of both basketball and baseball, support the kids with their academics and athletics. They realize that balancing both is challenging and appreciate their determination. Redford knows the Eunice Cardinals have worked really hard to get where they're at, and they are cheering them on all the way. Bart and his crew say, "Go Eunice Cardinals!"
The Eunice Police Department is a proud supporter of the youth of Eunice. Eunice Police Department encourages teamwork and getting involved in the community, whether it's sports, cheer, or just being a great student. The Eunice Police Department stands by their town motto of friendly people, proud town, and they're definitely proud to serve the city of Eunice and proud to sponsor Lee County athletics and academics. The Eunice Police Department says, "Go Cardinals!" NMR Pipeline is a highly qualified, dedicated company, leading in performance with management and employees who provided over 45 years of service in pipeline maintenance and construction within the oil and gas industry. NMR Pipeline, 300 South Main in Eunice, or call 394-0144 for more information. Again, 394-0144. NMR Pipeline is proud to be a supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to No Mark Broadcasting's coverage of Eunice Cardinal Sports. I'm Jimmy Jones alongside my partner in crime, Eunice School Board member Rosendo Caballero. Good evening, Rosendo.
Good evening, Mr. Jones. How you doing tonight, sir?
Doing well. It's always a good day when you're watching some Cardinal sports.
Yes, sir, it is. I concur 100%.
On the camera, we've got the main man, the myth, the legend, Charlie, the Hammer Fairbrush.
I give him a nickname every week.
I know, a.k.a. Poncho.
Hey, we can make it work.
That's right. We've got him mic'd up as well. We got the 3-mic system going. We were scheduled to start broadcasting a little earlier tonight because on Tuesday, the JV game was over in 2 straight quick sets, and then the varsity was getting started, and we weren't scheduled to start our broadcast for like another 30, 45 minutes. So today, we decided to start it a little earlier, and lo and behold, this JV volleyball game is in the extra set, basically, at this point.
And it works out just fine. That way they can get some airtime as well, because this is the future of the volleyball team for the Eunice Cardinals.
That's right. So we've got a little Eunice volleyball JV versus Dexter JV here in Eunice today at Eunice.
And Eunice, yeah, the beautiful city of Eunice and the beautiful gymnasium here we have in Eunice, New Mexico.
Joe Langston Gymnasium.
I never remember that name. I don't know why. How come, but I never can.
I always think about the hat.
The hat? Yeah, that's true. That
hat. The hat. He was finishing a little hat that's up there in the little trophy box.
The little trophy box? You mean the trophy box, right?
Yeah, the only trophy box.
And then we apologize if we don't say any names of people on the court. We don't have a roster for them as this given moment, so bear with us. And the score is right now 4-4. It's tied between Dexter Demons and the Eunice Cardinals JV team.
Yeah. So it's 1 set to 1 set apiece. In a JV game, you play the best of 3. So the first one to win 2 sets wins. It's 1-1. Currently, the score in this set is 5-4. Dexter in the lead with the serve.
And they go to 15 points as well.
You know, one interesting fact, I left my glasses at home, And the older I get, the worse I see. So I really can't tell you who.
So you're going to call a better game tonight than you did last time?
That's probably right. That is probably.
If last time you were having a hard time looking the ball in and out, could you imagine tonight? I'll help you.
The good thing is with our varsity kids, at least on the Eunice side, I typically know most of those kids, so I recognize them unless I get tongue-tied in the middle of my statement. And sometimes in volleyball you can. I actually watched some college volleyball last night. Baylor was playing Oklahoma. Great matchup. I watched it last night, and what I found interesting is they don't really do it like we do it or like I've been taught to do it because it just happens so fast. Now, where I got that, and the reason that we've always said so-and-so hit it, they bump it, they spike it, and they hit it over here, and we go so fast is because at one point this broadcast was strictly a radio broadcast. We didn't have the video. And so for those people sitting at home, we were trying to describe everything and paint that picture. And really, now that we have the camera, most people watch it. And so, we can kind of do a little more.
I think we should just say, you know what, number 7 is so-and-so for the Eunice, number 37 is for so-and-so Dexter. And they can see it on the camera, huh?
Yeah, we can still give a little updates here. We have our play-by-play and whatnot, but I don't think we have to describe every single touch of the ball.
For example, like just now, number 10 for the Eunice Cardinals jumped up and spiked the ball and did a very good job.
Yeah, and I believe she's one of the new young ladies. And I may be wrong. One of those, number 2 for sure, is one of the new young ladies that is related to John and Becky Nogelmeyer, one of our great sponsors with Eunice Pump and Supply.
And the station said we sound good on the mic and the camera, so we're doing a good job. We've actually improved. We're improving as the years go on.
You know, we're no different than these young athletes out here. We're trying to improve in our craft. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Sometimes we have good days, sometimes we have bad days.
We have rookie years.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Rookie days.
Our job is just paint a picture, call it like you see it, and like Charlie says, the ball don't lie. So.
Yeah, you know, I after our last game, I heard a little bit of discussion, not a bunch, but a little bit of discussion about, well, it just sounded negative. Well, we played negative last week, and last week on Tuesday, and it's not a knock, it's just reality. When we're sitting up here, we're watching a game, and we're telling you what we see at the time. You may not agree with what we see, and that's okay. But we're just trying to paint a picture for the folks back home. Our point last week with being somewhat negative, or not, I keep saying last week, on Tuesday with being somewhat negative, is we did not look like ourselves. This Eunice Cardinal volleyball team coming into Tuesday was ranked number 4 in the state in the Max Preps polls. I think there were 7 in the coaches poll, but they were in the top 4 in the state in the poll that matters, and had an amazing season going and had beat Tatum. Not just a little bit. They had beat them significantly twice during the season coming in. And so Tuesday, we just didn't look like ourselves.
And we weren't being negative. We were just calling like we've seen it. Yeah. We know these girls can perform to a high level. We've seen it year in and year out. Yeah. And this Tuesday, they were not performing that. And, I mean, hate to be the dead horse, but it is what it is.
Yeah, they just didn't get it done, and that's the reality. And I'll talk about that a little bit in my pregame when we get to some numbers and stats after this JV game. But yeah, I think it's important that folks know that, you know, you won't find a bigger Eunice cheerleader than me.
Cheerleaders.
Yes. And I think arguably you might find Charlie. He might be a bigger cheerleader.
Pretty big.
That's right. He's a pretty big cheerleader. And Rosino's a school board member here at the school. He wants to see us do well.
Yes.
And his kids in school, my kids in school. You know, that's where Charlie's kids went to school. We want to see us do well, and we want it to be positive. And when it's positive, trust me, you won't hear a bigger screamer out here than us 3. Charlie screaming, the ball don't lie. Me up here screaming and hooting and hollering.
And Eunice schools have a rich tradition of winning.
Yes.
And that rich tradition comes from hard playing, passionate playing, gridiron football, gridiron volleyball, gridiron baseball, track. All sports that we play here in Eunice, we play with a bunch of passion.
And when you have that, and lose, then you go, you know what, we played hard, we did what we could.
100%.
I said in a post earlier this week, I've never been one of those people that tells their kids, as long as you give it your best, because in my opinion, you could always do better. Now, you may not do better right here on the spot, but you could have put in some more work in the off season. You could have ran, got in better shape. You could have went to more camps. You could have did some more hours of volleyball work, whatever it is. There's always something you could have did. So when I hear people say, well, as long as you gave it your best, well, you didn't give it your best. You might have given it a good effort,
Yeah.
and we can deal with that, but you could have always done more.
And that's what separates champions
That's right.
from winners, man.
And our last game, and this game is 8-14, so this is match point
For Dexter.
in the final set for Dexter here. They are in the lead. But in the last game for the varsity, we just didn't have that fire about us. We were tripping over each other. We were falling down. It just didn't look good. And my apologies to somewhat if that hurts feelings when you say, man, girls don't look good. But they did not look good.
Not really good. And you hardly ever apologize, so I mean that in the most sincere way, and I respect that. But like I said earlier, our job is, first of all, represent Eunice schools. Second of all, call the game like it is.
Yep.
And be professional as much as we can. So
Here's one other thought. I went to high school right here in Eunice, and I played for a man that's a New Mexico legend and Dexter a Eunice legend, Dave Lynn.
Oh.
And Dave Lynn would come over and have the biggest celebration with you when you did something good. But when you did something not so good, he'd come over and grab you by the face mask and tell you, son, and one of his famous quotes was, you look like Ned in the 3rd grade, boy. That's terrible. and you know, you had this fire inside you that the last thing you wanted was Dave Lynn, the Eunice legend, coming over to tell you you look like Ned in the 3rd grade.
And that made you perform better.
Man, I think it did. It did me. Now, for some kids, apparently, it makes them decide that they don't want to hear that no more. But I can assure you that my intentions up here have never been to hurt anybody's feelings. I like all the kids, but I also call it like I see it.
And never will be to hurt any kids.
If you have a good play, I'm going to say, man, what a play. And when you have one not so good, I'm probably going to say, that looked like Ned in the 3rd grade. So the JV game has concluded. Dexter ended up winning that 2-1, 2 sets to 1. And so now they put 20 minutes on the clock, and they will start the warm-up. So we're slightly slightly ahead. We've got a little time here. Before we get moving on and maybe start playing some commercials, I didn't do a whole lot today as far as my stats and numbers go. I've been in court the last 3 days in a row, not even a lunch break, so it's been kind of nuts around here. However, I did prepare a little something, so I wanted to go over that. Good evening. Once again, Jimmy Jones, Charlie Fairbrush, Rosendo Caballero here in Eunice at Joe Langston Gymnasium. The Lady Cardinals enter tonight's game with a 9-4 record. They are 0-1 in District 4 2A. The Lady Cards entered this week number 4 in the entire state. Today, the latest updates to the Max Preps rankings come out. They are currently sitting at number 8, so they dropped 4 spots after that district opening loss to Tatum on Tuesday night. In Tuesday night's opening district game against Tatum, Eunice just didn't look like they've looked all season long. I've got to be honest with you, and I've mentioned this before, but I didn't expect us to be as good as we've looked this season in girls volleyball. I got to tell you, they have looked amazing, and I mean that. They have really looked good this year. Something that I talked about in Tuesday's pregame notes. The team has been strong. They entered District 4 2A play ranked inside the top 4 in the state. I don't know that we've ever been ranked in the top 4 in the state. Even the year that they won the state volleyball championship, if I remember correctly, they were ranked like 7 going into the state tournament that year and then won the whole thing. My daughter's freshman or sophomore year, Jada, they played in a state championship game against Texaco. I think they went into that tournament ranked like 7 or 8 and made it all the way to the championship. This Eunice team has been ranked number 4 just 2 days ago in the ranking. So that's what I mean by they have looked really good. Coming into this season, Eunice had lost 6'3" front hitter All-State Caitlin Gallant, a multiple-time shot and discus state champion, and a multiple-time All-State volleyball player. She would hammer the ball at the front. She's not playing this year. Eunice also lost just weeks before the school year started 6'1" junior Caitlin Parsons, an all-state basketball player, first team from a year ago, that would have been playing volleyball this year, and maybe one of the most athletic 6-foot-plus girls that I've ever watched play anything. Eunice also lost volleyball all-state standout Kiki Parker, another front row player that's played travel volleyball and comes from a family of volleyball players due to an injury at the beginning of the season. With those three key athletes missing, this Cardinal team has looked amazingly good to have a number 4 ranked spot in the state of New Mexico just 2 years ago. So that's what I mean by the other day, they just didn't look like themselves. They're and so I don't mean it to be negative. However, we had a negative game the other day, and anybody that's watched a play that couldn't see that, I don't know what you've been watching, but you must not be much into sports if you don't get that part of it. We looked bad Tuesday. With that said, this team has been very good all season with their defensive end of the ball. They've rotated well in the front. The front line has done a great job considering they probably lost 3 of their starting front line people right as the season started. They also were missing front hitter Lillian Parsons the other day. Front row player Jasmine Martinez had missed several practices due to a family ongoing emergency situation that she's had with her family and brother. Our thoughts and prayers are with them and with her family for sure. Tuesday, as I mentioned, I'm going to say it one more time, just did not look like the Eunice volleyball team that we've grown accustomed to watching all this season. With that said, one more time, I'll say, I just call what I see. If your kid looks amazing, I'm going to say they look amazing. If your kid don't look too amazing, I'm going to say they had a rough day today. So, tonight, the Lady Cardinals will host 3A Dexter, the Dexter Lady Demons. As I just mentioned, I call it like I see it. Dexter enters tonight's game not a typical Dexter volleyball program. They are in somewhat of a downhill slide, just calling it like I see it. The Lady Demons are currently 1-10 on the season. In fact, looking at their record on Max Preps, they've only won 5 sets all season long. 4 of those sets that they won came against Loving in 2 separate matches versus Loving. They beat Loving 3-1 once. 3-2 once, and they lost to them 3-1 once. So that kind of gives you an idea. That is not normal Dexter Lady Demon volleyball. This program historically has been tough. They did win 1 set versus Capitan on the year, so 3-2. So they've won 5 sets on the season. They did graduate an extremely strong senior class last year. I will tell you that in track, last year's Dexter girls, I mean, man, they were fast. Ever track meet, they're the high point person.
They were a blur, bro. I
know Chloe won 2 or 3 high point awards last year at track meets. Anytime Dexter was there, it was like, I mean, as tough a competitor as she is, she would come over to me and be like, Dexter's here. I want to know high point today. I mean, they were tough last year in track. A bunch of that group has graduated. I think they've got a couple of remnants of that group, but most of them have graduated. So it seems to be somewhat of a rebuilding year for them. And hopefully tonight, the Lady Cards can get that momentum back that they had just a week ago and get back in the line that we know that they're capable of. So that's kind of my spiel for the day. And I don't know what they've decided to do on the clock. They put 20 minutes up there. They started running the clock. They ran it down to about 18. Then they stopped the clock, put 15 minutes on the clock, and they haven't touched it since. It's not running. It's not doing anything. So I'm not real sure what we're doing.
They knew you had a lot to say tonight, so they had to stop the clock for a second.
Well, I think once they get through with the Team captains will kick it off.
They might just get it started. Yeah, it's very, very possible.
And going back to what you said about so many players not going to play, like the 3 seniors, one's hurt, one chose not to play, and we lost a player. Shows you how deep this Cardinal team is on players, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and I don't usually say this kind of stuff in front of my kid, but my wife and I, as we're driving down the street, will have a conversation. I told her before volleyball started, I think we'll be lucky if we get out of this with a 500 season. I just didn't think with us losing multiple kids like we lost right at the beginning of the season, I thought we were going to struggle between that and some of the graduates from last year
and we have a new coach.
Yes, new system, new coach, missing a bunch of players, a lot of new players up at the varsity level. I thought we'd be lucky to be 500, and like I said, just 2 days ago in the Max Preps rankings that came out just a few days ago, we were number 4 in the state.
And right now we're number 8.
Yeah, we dropped to number 8 after the loss to Tatum.
But statistically, the last time we were number 8 or 7, we won state one year, and the next year we went all the way to the state game.
Yeah, I mean, it's
let's
not a bad place to be.
Let's play with those numbers.
Now, I will tell you this. I think it was 2 years ago maybe, and I know like Faith Hobbs,
And Kendra was on the team.
yeah, they were all part of that group. They made it all the way to, what, the semifinals?
Semifinals, yes, sir.
I don't remember what they were ranked going into the state tournament. It may have been really good. I don't remember.
I don't know. I'm not going to lie to you. I remember. I was dad then.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
enjoying the games.
And I was over there screaming on the radio talking about how awesome it looked. So, you know, and it's funny because I didn't have a kid playing at this level then. My kid was still younger. But I told people then I enjoyed that volleyball season announcing more than probably any season I've ever announced, because I was a Eunice fan, played well, and I didn't really have a kid out there to say, oh, my kid's playing, you know, I'm not doing well, or I'm frustrated over this or that, or whatever it might be. I'm just here to announce the game. So it does get a little more difficult when you got one of your own out there. You got a little more passion in you, just like some of the people listening at home got a kid, a grandkid, a niece, a nephew, brother, or sister out there playing. They get a little more passionate. They don't like to hear certain things said, but I can tell you, it ain't no easier for those of you sitting up here that
It used to be comfortable Tuesday night, right?
Absolutely.
So, I mean.
Absolutely. So Eunice is in the middle of warm-ups here. Let's run down the roster. Eunice this year, we didn't get a chance to do this the other night, but they've got at that libero position, number 0, Chloe Jones. Kiki Parker is number 1 on this team. She did have ACL surgery just 2 days ago. Yesterday, I stopped by and visited with the Kikster. She was sitting out in her front porch in a chair with her legs stuck in the air. Looked like she might have been a little impaired by some controlled substances, but she was sitting out there with Brett and Penny.
Controlled substances.
I'm sure she picked those up at a pharmacy with a prescription, not at the guy on the corner's house.
That's priceless out there.
Anyway, she
have
was
to go visit her now.
she was out there. Brett and Penny told me some funny Kiki stories that I won't repeat on the air, but just some things while she was impaired on some of them controlled substances. If you've ever watched those videos of people that are getting their wisdom teeth pulled out or any of that stuff where they give them some good controlled substances and they start taking impact before they get back to the back and they start doing funny things, that's kind of the stories that they told me. So very, very entertaining. Keek, our thoughts and prayers are with you. We wish you the best, and a shout out to your family and Parker Energy Services for always supporting all that we do. Number 2 is Alondra Maureen. Alondra is a sophomore this year on this team. She usually plays the back row. However, last game on Tuesday, she played back and front row. So definitely a shout out to Alondra and her family. Number 3, Jasmine Martinez. She typically plays the front row. Very athletic young lady that does a little bit of everything. Once again, a family member of hers was involved in a serious accident, and our thoughts and prayers are with them. Great people and long-time Eunice ties here to this community. So she'll be out here playing tonight. I see her out there, and so we're excited for that as well. Number 4, Mckenna Mcbee. Mckenna is a sophomore this year. She plays a little bit of everything, kind of plays all the way around. She used to play the back row. Now I've noticed we've rotated her up. We've got her playing back row, front row. She plays a little bit of everywhere, does a really good job in just about any sport that she plays with the passion and gets out there and gets after it. So another one of those families with not so much deep Eunice ties, but deep ties to Southern Lee County, and so definitely a sports-related group. Number 5 is Tinley Acosta. As you can tell, when I printed this out on my printer and did it on my computer computer don't like the name Tinley, so I'm going to shout out to her family and tell them that my apologies on my roster. It says Tinless. I guess my spell check kicked in, and so she may be Tinless for the rest of my announcing life. Tinley's a senior this year, and I got to tell you, she's come on this year. A year ago, I would say that I'm fairly certain she still played some JV, things like that. However, this off season, her and Chloe and Kiki Parker played travel volleyball with a group out of Hobbs and Lovington, coached by the former Seminole volleyball coach, and they went all over West Texas and eastern New Mexico playing in various tournaments, and I tell you, Tinley has come a long ways. She's won multiple all-tournament teams this year, and arguably she may be the best player out there this year on this girls volleyball group. Number 6 is Yolanda Granadas. Yolanda is a returning all-district player from last year. Just kind of one of those players that once again can kind of do a little bit of everything. Usually serves the ball really well. She's a senior this year as well. Has really come along this year in the front row. You don't think of her as being this striker, but she's been doing it.
She has that confidence this year.
Yes.
You notice that she gets out there and hits with authority. Last year she kind of hesitated sometimes to hit it, but now the ball's set for her, and it's near the net. She's going to try to crush as hard as she can.
And I think sometimes that comes from just being a senior. She's that senior leader on the team, kind of that voice out there. Number 7, Sarah Reeves. We talked about her a little bit on Tuesday. Sarah is a young lady that hadn't played for a couple of years. And she's long. And I tell you what, if you had told me coming into the beginning of the season that she's going to be one of the best blockers that I've seen all year long, I might have not thought so. But I tell you, she has got out there and battled. She does a great job up in the front of blocking. And as I was watching D1 volleyball last night, every team out there that plays has that girl that gets up in the front and gives the other teams hit strikers fits by getting up and blocking balls. Sarah does that for this Lady Cardinal team. She understands her role and does exactly what she's asked to do. And I tell you, I've really, really been impressed with her.
She's like a sleeping giant out there.
Yes.
Just calm, gets to the spot, jumps up, blocks, just walks away with a smile on her face.
Yes. Don't get too excited. I'm just going to jump up and block your shot.
People might think it might be a show off, but she's humble.
Yes.
You can't get by me.
Yes, absolutely. So, and she's another junior. Number 8, Lillian Parsons. She's a junior as well. Got a strong junior group this year. Parsons may be the best hitter on the team. Once again, it's arguable between her and maybe Acosta. Parsons, when she's on, is that hammer this year that we needed. That just she hits it with some power and some force. Just an all-around athletic player and a very powerful player. And I don't mean this in a negative way. Some people think everything I say is negative. But in sports, you always talk about having that dog on your team that's ready to go to war. I don't know that young lady. I didn't know her coming into this year. But I will tell you, if I went to war, she's the kind of dog I want on my team, because she just looks to me, just watching her out here compete, she looks like a competitor that'll go out and bite your ankles off or chew on your arm or whatever she's got to do to get it done.
And keep in mind, that dog we needed last game.
Yes. Yeah, and she wasn't out there.
If you were here watching the game last game, she was not out there. We don't know the reason or what, how come, but we needed that fight of that dog in that game, last set.
And once again, that is a sports analogy that I've heard my whole life, where you need a dog on your team that's willing to get out there and fight, not referring to her as a female dog or any other type of, that's not my point. I'm just saying she is a fighter that'll get in there and growl. And
She has a competitive attitude.
Absolutely. Number 10 is Dee Dee Zamora. She's a senior. Another one of those young ladies that, coming into this season, I don't think we expected a whole lot from, but I have been extremely impressed with some of her athletic moves. Sometimes she gets up in the air, and all I can think about is that sometimes I dream that he is me, that Mike commercial, because she's up there hanging in the air, and it's like she's looking around like, where do I want to hit that? And
she's like a Kiki Dream, right?
Man,
she has so many moves at the front of the net. She can hit from both sides and the center quickly and accurate. That's beautiful.
And every now and then she'll just go flying through the air, and you're like, what is she doing? And all of a sudden she hits it with like the back of her hand sideways over the back of her head, and it lands right in the corner, and you're like, dang, did you see that?
She jumped too soon. No, she didn't.
Yeah, I mean, she's one of those kids that you watch, and if you only watched one or two plays, you'd be like, oh my gosh, that is a college volleyball player. Now, she may struggle the next two times, but she does some wow things out there.
And to come to the 50-50 balls between her and Jasmine and number 7, Sarah, they're going to get them. If they're anywhere in the net, they're going to get it and get us a point.
And then last but not least, at least on the roster that I have right here, is number 14, Vivi Ornelas. Vivi has taken over that role as setter. I will tell you this, when Chloe was a freshman and Kendra and that group were up there playing at the high school level, that JV group went undefeated that year. And that young lady was the setter for the JV. Very, very solid. I think the last couple of years she hasn't really got her chance at the varsity level because there were other setters that had been there a while.
Yes, in that one position.
But she has done a really good job at that setting position. And I'm not a volleyball person. I mean, I kind of tell you what's happening out here, but I'm not a coach of any means of the imagination of volleyball. But you've got to have a good setter. When those teams, man, when you watch that Division I soccer or volleyball, their setters running all the way to the back line, like back past the free throw line here, setting people on the front net backwards over the back of their head and doing those things. When you have a setter that can put it where your hitters want it consistently, then you've got money. And most of this season, she has done that and made our hitters, and I'm not knocking the hitters, she's made them look really good because she's putting the ball right where they need it to be successful.
And she's done a great job dealing with the pressure because the setter, like you said, has to run all over the court and get to the ball and put the ball where it needs to be at.
Yep.
And she's dealt good with the pressure there and serving because when she comes up there and serves, does an awesome job and gets 2 or 3 aces at her serving time. So.
Yeah, so really been impressed with her. The Lady Cards are coached by Taylor Skinner and assistant coach Kyla Coburn. We talked about them a little bit last week. Dexter, I'll probably butcher a few of these names, and as I've mentioned in the past, I just load these rosters straight off Max Prep, so it seemed like they didn't have many kids on there. Some of them didn't even have their numbers, and all I can tell you is if you're listening from Dexter, my apologies, we are a Eunice crew, but the Max Preps is where we got Eunice's roster. I don't think Dexter's updated theirs in a while, but here's what I got. Number 4, Alexa Miramontes. Number 8, Sinaida Salazar. Number 9, Lanisa Carrillo. Number 10, Jasmine Duran. Number 11, Maritza Jimenez. Number 16, Emily De La Rosa. Number 25, Jaslyn Flores. Number 32, Karina Fuentes. And then they have a few other people listed with no numbers. Nalani Cobos, Daisy Sanchez, and Montserrat Jimenez. It says here that the head coach is Tierney Krosowski.
That's crazy. All those Hispanic last names and coach's name Krosowski.
And
that's pretty cool.
Eastern European of some sort, for sure. So our sponsors for tonight that I have here on the list, Parker Energy Services. We've talked about Brett and Penny. I would almost bet they're listening at home with the Keekster, unless they somehow decided to wheel her up here. I bet you, having went through 4 ACL surgeries myself, I bet you she don't feel like being here today. Usually that second day is the worst day where you feel really bad, but shout out to them. BTH Services and Rental, my man Chad Howler and all of his group. His daughter should be out here playing with this group right here, but she had to have a surgery on her shoulder right as the school year started. From an injury that I think happened in basketball. I think it was a long time back, but anyway, it was re-injured in the summer in basketball. I believe it was a shoulder, but shout out to her and to Chad and all their family.
She be ready for basketball?
I don't think so. I don't think she's going to play all year or anything else. I think that's what somebody told me.
That's for her even more.
Yeah, no doubt. Eunice Pump and Supply, Becky Nogelmeyer, Brandon Matthews, and the crew. Eunice Health Clinic, Leanne Reeves, Brian, Nikki, Elma, Aaron, and all the gang down there. We appreciate all that they do. And, of course, they're sitting right in front of us, so every now and then if you get a good close-up shot at the back of Leanne's head while she's pumping her fist and screaming for Sarah Reeves down there. Eunice Public Schools, Dwayne Haynes, Cynthia Sims, Rosendo, Matt Kinney, Miss Hahn, and Senator Gallegos. The Eunice Police Department, Chief Casey Arcides and all his staff down there. City of Eunice, Billy Hobbs and all the crew at the city, Shannon Cummins, and Cardinal Hardware, the Myers family and the Davis family, Eunice Wrecker and Rental, John Dean and all of his gang, Devon Energy, my main man Bryce Jenkins and all the staff at Devon, NMR Pipeline, Dale, Billy, all the crew down there, Stacy, Redbird Gas, Bart Parker, and anyway, appreciate all that you guys do. Looks like the teams are starting to walk out onto the floor. I'm assuming we're about to do maybe the national anthem or the Pledge of Allegiance. So we'll take a break and send it over for a word from our sponsors.
The proud owners of Eunice Wrecker and Rental offer professional and reliable 24-hour roadside services in Lee County. Light to medium duty towing and recovery, fuel deliveries, jump starts, lockouts, and tire changes. They also haul off unwanted vehicles to help clean up your property. Eunice Wrecker and Rental have over 20 years of experience. They are fully licensed and insured. Call 575-394-HOOK. That's 575-394-4665. Eunice Wrecker and Rental are located at 44 North New Mexico Highway 248. Eunice, New Mexico, mile marker 1.
Cardinal Hardware is your complete lumber yard with reasonable prices and outstanding service. When you need hardware or lumber, think of Cardinal Hardware. When you need great accommodations that feel like home, think of Oil Patch Motel in Eunice. Cardinal Hardware and Oil Patch Motel in Eunice, another proud sponsor of all Lee County sports and academics.
BTH Services is a locally owned and operated family-oriented business. BTH Services and Rental is a Porta-John and equipment rental company. BTH Services and Rental also clears right-of-ways and right-of-way reclamation. Please call 575-964-3104. That's 575-964-3104 for all of your company needs. BTH Services and Rental is also looking for a 1-ton CDL driver. Please apply at 2100 Avenue O in Eunice. BTH Services and Rental is the proud sponsor of Lee County Athletics.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a beautiful, rainy Washington State type of day here in Eunice, New Mexico.
I think I'm playing indoors, right?
Yeah, a cool, wet, fall type of day. I was actually looking forward to it. I'm actually a little tired of the heat, so
I come from a hot country, so I love the heat, man.
I like the last couple of days, that 70s, little dampness. It was pretty nice. But anyway, with that said, they just finished the introductions of both teams. We are getting ready to get started here. They've got both sides ready to go. They're going to do their little 1, 2, 3 go-karts or kick butt or whatever it is they decide to do today. And then we will get started. I think it's the kick butt. See?
Yeah.
They did the kick butt.
That's old school. I haven't seen
right.
it for many years.
Yeah.
That's a good tradition to have. And the crowd gets into it very soon, huh?
Yeah, we've got a pretty noisy student section over there. They're getting a little rowdy.
At this given moment.
It's like the football team down there making a bunch of racket. They got a big game this week down in Panther Country.
Panther Country, huh?
Yep. So here goes the beginning of the game, I believe. I'm going to get my little paper right here, and I'm going to try my best.
I will help you with the numbers, Coach.
All right.
That's going to be number 16, be serving for Dexter if they get the ball.
16 is Emily De La Rosa.
You need to wear your tongue there, De La Rosa, try it.
Emily
De La
De La Rosa.
So Miss De La Rosa gets ready to serve.
There you go.
She's got the ball. She's spinning. She's looking. She's just waiting on the whistle.
And there.
And it looks like the official's telling the
Cheerleaders got to move.
cheerleaders they got to move.
And the crowd goes quiet.
Yeah,
We have a new rule.
She's like, move, girls.
I don't know what she's telling them to move for. I've never heard them say you can't be a cheerleader in a volleyball game. Now, in basketball, I know you can't get under the goal, but there's no reason to not have them back there.
This is a new rule.
I've never heard of such nonsense.
This is not a district game, correct?
I tell you, sometimes
way,
they
it don't
come up
matter.
with nonsense that why would they move the cheerleaders over there? They're going to make them stand in the locker room?
Here comes the director.
Yeah.
The director going to ask why and how come.
Yeah, I
We're to the bottom of this now.
I don't think that makes any sense.
That being said, give a shout out to our sponsors, Dave and Energy.
Some of our
New
fans
Mexico
are a little
Pipeline.
upset.
Yeah.
And Red Bird
This
Gas.
new rule. Some of our fans are getting upset.
These high school kids crazy, huh?
I'm with them. I don't agree with this new rule.
Yeah, there's no rule that says you can't be a cheerleader on the inline in volleyball.
You want to change the rules, you got to vote somebody, elect somebody that'll do it.
And talk about election, huh?
Speaking of elections,
We're going to be positive. They're not negative on
I
election.
gotta tell you though, everybody that knows me knows that me and Robbie don't always agree on everything. I am proud of her for jumping out there and defending our cheerleaders because I appreciate that.
Miss
more
Robinson,
cheerleaders
the new middle school principal and the athletic director for the unit schools, went out there and handled it professionally.
Yeah, I've never seen anywhere where they told you you can't cheer for a volleyball game. And I guarantee you, I've been to Dexter. They got more cheerleaders than any group I've ever seen, and they'll be all down the side.
Hands down to the director.
So here we go with the first touch. Jones picks it up. They get it over. Parsons is just going to clear it back. The setter, De La Rosa, sets it, and Sarah Reeves jumps up and says, "Not in my house."
Not in her house. I'm telling you, dude, she's smiling right there, but she makes it look so easy, man.
That is exactly what we talked about in our pregame about Sarah Reeves. She is a blocking specialist and gets it done at the net. Way to go, Sarah.
And Parsons comes with the serve.
Yep. They were able to get that one back across. Jones was able to get it back, and then we had a double hit.
So make the score 1-1 here in Eunice.
And that'll bring up number 10, Jasmine Duran. She is back to serve for Dexter. She throws it up and smacks it over. It's a long one. We went ahead and played it. I thought it was going to go out. Jones comes up, knocks it across the net for the Cardinals. De La Rosa sets a Dexter player at the front, and then we had some confusion at the front. And last Tuesday, this past Tuesday, we saw a lot of that.
Mistakes.
Yes, those
Miscommunication.
Yes.
Up in the front.
And that was my point last week. So there's our first touch for McBee. Over, and then we airmail it out of bounds out the back. So it's now 3-1. Eunice with 3 straight errors after the first point was ours. There's a first touch, ends up back over to Jones. Jones to Acosta. De La Rosa is going to set number 10 on the back row. That's Duran, and she hit the goal midway up the backboard.
I don't mean to laugh, but that was a good hard hit, but it just did not stay in bounds.
Almost made a basket.
So the score is 3-2 in favor of the Demons, the Lady Demons.
And I actually have the app here. I'm going to try to keep up with it.
Oh, I can attempt
I
to.
don't always do a great job keeping up with that for sure. So here comes Vivi Ornales with the serve. It's a good one. First touch by Dexter's good. They get it to their setter. Their setter just flips it over. Vivi Ornales sets Parsons. Parsons drills it across. But Duran keeps it alive for Dexter. And they're going to knock it all the way to the deep back.
Oh, nice set.
Oh.
Go to the
Yeah. We had a first touchdown back by Jones. I think that ball was going out of bounds too, but she tried to reach across her body and get it. The first set wasn't too good. The set was a little long and into the net.
We look a little flustered out there, just like that play
just
right there.
like that. We have two girls going for the same ball. They both touched it, and it goes out of bounds. It's now 2-5. That's 4 straight mistake points for Dexter versus Cardinals. Mckenna Mcbee back to serve. She hits it deep, and Eunice lets it go, and it sails out.
And when they looked at each other, they still were kind of hesitant, like, oh, was yours mine? But luckily, landed out of bounds.
Yeah. Chloe had mentioned to me that they've changed the rotation. Just in the last week, they've changed the way they were rotating. And I think you can see that. Jones with a great serve right there, and she's going to get the ace as the libero for Dexter couldn't hang on to it in the back. It's now 5-4.
Just like that, huh? 5-4.
So Jones heads back to the service stripe. She'll be ready to serve. She serves it up. It's another good serve. Dexter struggles with that one too, and Jones with 2 aces in a row has even the score back out at 5 apiece.
And that's number 0 for the Dexter Demons, but there's no 0 on here, so we can't not say her name.
As I mentioned, if you noticed out here, they had 3 players on their roster that don't have numbers associated with them. I would guess one of them's probably the libero. So Parsons with the set, over to Acosta. Dexter, confusion on their end. That ball hits 6-5 in favor of the Lady Cardinals. Jones with 3 straight service points.
It's going to be the game of mistakes again or what? Hope not.
So here goes Jones with the next serve. She hits it over into the corner. Dexter picks it up. They're just going to have to hit it across, and they do. Jones with the first touch.
Give it to her.
Ornelas. And that was slammed down by Didi, but Dexter keeps it alive. The ball's in the air again. Zamora bumps it over. It flies back across. Jones with the diving pickup.
Wow.
Ornelas sends it across. Dexter struggling, but they get it back across. There's a punch by Granadas. Acosta with the cross corner shot. Number 16 is Della Rosa for Dexter. Dexter keeps it alive, hits it into the net, and it falls to the floor. And another point for the Lady Cardinals. That's 4 straight service points for Chloe Jones.
Makes the score 7-5.
Jones back to serve again. She hits this one deep into the corner. Dexter struggled with it, but they get it up, and they're just going to hit it across. Jones steps in. That first touch was a little long. And it looked like
was in the net.
Looked like a net ball to me, but it wasn't called. Jones's first touch was a little long, and it basically set the player from Dexter up.
One of those 50-50 balls, but we had nobody big up there to get it.
So that makes it 7-6. Eunice leads by 1. There's a number 3 back to serve that we don't have on the Max Preps roster. There's 2 Eunice players going after the same ball.
Misses completely on that one. Makes the score 7-7. And once again, we have that much airtime. You think sometimes too much and make a mistake.
So that makes it 7 up like a Sprite, but not quite the same. More like a Sierra Mist. Here goes the serve.
Nice serve.
Zamora puts it right up to 50-50. And we had Ornelas faced off against about the tallest player on the Dexter team. That's Fuentes. And she won the jump ball.
She's won 2 like that already so far.
That's 7-8 in favor of the Lady Demons. There's the serve. Jones with a good first touch. Ornelas is going to set Acosta. Acosta hits it across. Dexter struggles with it. It's going to hit the ground, and it's now 8 up.
We need to capitalize every time we get the serve, and we got to play a little bit better defense at the net. At the net. We're doing good on the back row so far, but at the net, we got to win those 50-50 balls.
So Parsons comes in for the Lady Cardinals. Tinley Acosta back to serve. She throws it up and spanks it. It's back into the corner. Dexter struggles with the first touch. They're going to set the big, tall player up in the middle. That's Fuentes, who hits it right into that open gap in the middle.
I must jinx them, right?
It's 8-9 in favor of the Dexter Lady Demons.
Lady Demons, you want to say Cardinal Demons,
I
weren't you?
started to say something. So this is number 3, and once again, I don't have a 3.
This is number 8, sir.
Oh, is that an 8?
Yes, sir.
That tells you I'm blind. 8 is Salazar. Salazar back to serve. She throws it up and hits it over. It's a good serve. Granadas with the first touch. They set Didi. Didi just hits it across. Didi hits it across again. So we're playing some backyard volleyball. And there's a spike at the net and a nice block between Didi and Parsons.
And I think believe this is the first time Parsons in the game, correct?
Yeah, she just rotated into this front
front row.
spot.
So we have the big girls up in the front, tall girls.
Yeah, all of those three that are up there can get up.
Yep, all these 50
There's that
feet balls,
first touch from Dexter. They end up setting it over. Parsons,
Give it to her.
Granados to Parsons, and she slams it down. And
This is just a smidge out of bounds there.
man,
It's a tough call. And keep in mind, Parsons is left-hander, so this is her strong side.
yep. Yes,
Got to capitalize on those, man.
so it's 9-10 in favor of the Lady Demons.
And set number 1.
Here goes the serve from Fuentes. Parsons with the first touch. Over to Granadas. Granadas to Zamora. Zamora hits it over. Dexter does a good job getting it up, and they're just going to clear it. There's the first touch. Over to Granados, and there's a slam by Didi. It goes through, but Dexter keeps it alive. They're going to send it back across. Granados to Parsons, who slams it into the net. Eunice now down 9-11.
That might be a little bit of rustiness from not playing the other day, but they did have Wednesday to practice.
So 9-11. Charlie sounds like my cat. He's chucking a hairball over there. Reeves sets it over to Granadas. Granadas sends it across. They're trying to get it back over, and they just send
Give it to her.
Granados to Didi.
Oh, that was 4, but we didn't knock
Man,
out.
I thought we had 5, but no call. Dexter going to send it back across. That was Miramontes. Granados just sends it back across. Like I said, we're playing backyard. Dexter. The ball hits the ceiling, comes back down.
Oh!
Dexter's going to bump it up. Eunice keeps it alive, and they get it back across.
Beautiful volley, beautiful volley.
This is like you play in the park.
Who? They said somebody was in the net. I don't know who.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. Looks like he said 1-0.
1-0.
Yeah. Oh. So here goes Dexter preparing to serve. That's Fuentes. Fuentes throws it up and hits it over, and Zamora misplays that one and hits it to the back wall. It's now 13-9.
Eunice going to call timeout.
Going to take a timeout.
The score is 13-9. That means Jones is here in the first set, and Eunice is playing like they did last Tuesday, making a lot of mental mistakes, kind of not in the groove. Hopefully the cheaters can get back in the groove, right?
Yeah, I'm not certain what has happened. I try real hard to be positive because I know that somebody don't like negative. However, it's 9-13 against Dexter, and I just don't. We are a better ball club than what we're playing right now. We're a better ball club than what we played on Tuesday.
You've coached for many years in the past. You've competed in different types of sports. And sometimes as a competitor, you tend to want to play down or compete against your competitor. And once you start doing that, you're not out there with your full potential, and that doesn't let you win your games or your matches the best way you can.
And like I said, I just call it like I see it. Dexter has only won 5 sets all season against teams that we've beat 3-0.
And Dexter looks like they're ranked number 4.
Yeah. I mean, they're up right now 13-9. Eunice is going to have to get it
And nothing
together.
against Dexter. They're playing all
They're
right right now.
playing great. Yeah, that's a pump to them, not a negative. There's Fuentes with the serve. Parsons with the first touch. Granadas back to Parsons. Parsons tries to tip it over, but Dexter keeps it alive. The ball falls to the ground after a misplayed first touch by Dexter.
And Dexter looks a lot like him. They're not letting the ball hit the ground or the floor.
So that makes it 10-13. And number 10, Didi Zamora back to serve. She hits that one pretty good. Dexter with a misplayed first touch, but they're just going to clear it back over. First touch from Eunice. We're struggling to get that one back in, and we do want a hit by Parsons, but Dexter keeps it alive, and they're going to say a double hit or lift on Dexter, so that'll give.
It looked pretty clean to me.
Man, that was a great
Spike
strike
by
from Parsons. So that makes it 11-13.
If Parsons can square up every time she spikes, should be money. Keyword
Didi
squaring up.
Zamora with the first touch. Dexter does a good job keeping it alive.
Oh, that was in. Oh! Oh, you called that out of bounds, but it was in by a mile.
Yeah. I thought that ball was in.
Oh, got it, man. And
We'll take it. 12-13. Eunice gets a break there. Dexter, after the Didi Zamora serve, they're just going to send it back across. Zamora, Granadas, Sarah Reeves with a nice first touch. Dexter struggling to get it back over, but they do. First touch from Zamora. Granadas with the set. Parsons with the little runner. And they're going to call Parsons' feet up under the net.
The game is being called a little tighter since last district game.
So 12-14. Eunice trails by 2.
Here in the first set in Eunice, New Mexico.
So what is that, number 9? Carrillo, I believe.
I concur, it is a number 9.
All right, so Carrillo back to serve for the Demons. She hits it deep. Maureen with the first touch. Granadas with the set. Martinez. Oh,
wow.
Dexter does an amazing job keeping it alive, but then the air melted. That was Duran that air melted for Dexter.
She got a little excited, but there, Libero did a beautiful job keeping that ball from touching the ground.
So that makes it 13-14. Eunice back within 1 here in set number 1.
It's a long first set, you know that?
It is.
It has been, huh?
Who is that back to serve?
Parsons.
Parsons. So Parsons throws it up, hits it over. She was one of our best setters coming into the season for sure.
Best servers?
Yeah, that's what I meant. And Acosta hits it across. Dexter struggling with it, and that ball finds the floor. And it's a tie ball game, 14 up.
14 up, which means 14-14, correct?
Yep.
Just in case you don't understand our sports analogy.
Lillian Parsons back to serve. She throws it up, hits it over. It's a good one. Dexter with a good first touch. De La Rosa with the set. And then Sarah Reeves with a really good block at the net, but the ball went off her hands and landed out of bounds. But she was right there where she needed to be.
I think that young lady is Cabos. The one that just spiked the ball, number 3.
Oh, yeah?
Her dad's up in the stands. I'll see him standing cheering, so I'm assuming it's him.
So there's 10 with the serve. That's Duran, and she hits it into the net.
I bet you she wanted to redo that one, huh?
I'm sure.
15-15 here.
So Eunice will have the serve. It's 15 up. Vivi Ornelas heads back to the service line for the Lady Cardinals. Vivi's ready, throws it up, hits it over, and it goes right into the net, and we hand it right back.
Man, we need to correct that, especially now this late in the season.
Yep. Yeah, those little mistakes like that are what's killed us the last 2 games. So here goes Miramontes with the serve. Tinley Acosta with the first touch. Ornelas over to Granadas. Dexter can't handle it. And Granadas with a little spike kill there for the point.
A little kind of soft spike. It works.
It's going to send Chloe Jones back to the service line for the Lady Cardinals. It's 16-16 here in set number 1. Jones throws it up, hits it over. It's a pretty good serve. Dexter keeps it alive, and they're just going to send it across. Ornelas, Zamora, Acosta with the nice shot. Dexter keeps it alive, though, and they're going to try to hit it over, and they do. There's Mcbee, over to Ornelas, over to Acosta, who sends it across, and Dexter once again keeps it alive.
Help. It caught us out of position, man.
Yeah, got us a little out of position. That ball finds the floor. That's 16-17.
They caught us watching the game.
Eunice trails by 1. So that'll send number 3 that we don't have on the roster that does look like a Cobos.
Steady up the recording there, so it gotta be.
So here goes the serve. Jones with the first touch. Ornelas with the set. Didi Zamora sends it over. Dexter keeps it alive, and they're just going to send it back.
So 3-1 for Eunice.
Struggles, but we get it across. Dexter says, let's set up number 9. That's Carrillo. She sends it back deep to Mcbee. Mcbee, Ornelas to Tinley Acosta. Dexter keeps that one alive. Carrillo sends it into the net, and Eunice will get a 3-point out of that one on the miscue by the Lady Demons. It's now 17 apiece.
They're keeping us in the game by making their mental mistakes, because right now we are not capitalizing. We have the best opportunity to do it.
So Tinley Acosta heads to the service line. We've got a substitution over there. I think that's Mcbee stepping out and Parsons coming in.
I believe that was a rotation they had last couple of games.
Here goes Acosta, and she has a nice ace there. You just got aced, is the chant from the crowd. Tinley Acosta, the senior, says, let me grab a point right here. It's 18-17. Eunice takes the lead again. Here goes the jump serve. Acosta sends it to the corner.
It's out of bounds. That was very close, but I can't see that good because I don't have my glasses here, Jimmy Jones said.
Man, there was some debate and discussion as to whether that was good or not, but apparently they said it wasn't. So 18 up, the ball goes back over to the Lady Demons. Lady Demons throw it up and hit it over. Maureen, Ornalis, Zamora, and she airmails it out the back.
That's without a doubt that was out of bounds. Makes the score 19-18 here in the first set. The Eunice is struggling right now with this Dexter team.
So here goes the serve by 25. This is Jaslyn Flores. Maureen, Ornalis to Parsons. Dexter struggling with it, but they just send it across. Ornalis, Granadas to Parsons. Parsons spins it off the net and gets it to hit the floor. Parsons with a service point.
19-19.
Man, you mentioned it earlier how we just kind of the last week we've kind of played to the level of our competition, and right now 19-19 is about as level as you can get. Good, bad, or indifferent. It's 19-19. Here goes Granada's serve. It soars over. Dexter picks it up. Duran's gonna set. Eunice is diving all over the floor for it. They keep it alive, and Maureen comes in and hits it into the net. And that makes it 19-20 with Dexter in the lead. Number 32, Karina Fuentes, heads to the back for the serve for the Lady Demons.
I'm speechless, Ryan. Coach, I don't know what to say.
She throws it up and hits it over. Granadas, Parsons to Granadas, back to Parsons. Parsons with the finger roll if this was basketball. Jones, Granadas, we're still confused up front. We'll get it across. Dexter going to slam one down. Jones keeps it alive in the back. Granadas to Parsons. Parsons gets blocked. And
massive block.
21-19. The little bit of Dexter crowd that's over there is pumped. They are excited.
That was a beautiful block by the Dexter Demons, but she had no backside help there.
So 19-21 here. Dexter taking a late lead here. This is number 32, Fuentes, and she hits that one into the net. A break for the Lady Cardinals. It's 20-21. Jones is going to go out and head to the bench. Martinez comes in. Zamora will head to the service line for the Lady Cardinals. Kiki Zamora with the serve. It's a deep one, a good one. Dexter keeps it alive. They're going to set up number 10. That's Duran. There's a little battle at the net, and Eunice loses the 50-50 ball. It's now 20-22. Eunice trails by 2 late in the first set.
We need to regroup there, man. We need to have that focus and that confidence that we need in this game.
So 20-22, we're in set number 1. Dexter's Duran heads back to the service line. She hits a nice serve. Maureen keeps it alive. Nice spike there from Parsons. And we got away with a net ball. One of our players was up there in the net on a ball that there wasn't any reason to jump up in the net, but we got away with that one.
Got a little excited.
It's 21-22. Eunice trails by 1 here late in set number 1, and Parsons heads to the service line. She's going to throw it up and hit it over. It's a good one. Dexter gets a good first touch. They're going to set up.
That's 2 hits.
That's a double touch, so it's going to make it 2-2-2-2. There's 2s all the way across the board as we're at 22-22 here in set number 1.
That's a lot of 2-2s.
Lots of 2-2s. Little fuzzy ones.
Oh, that's an
ace by Parsons. 23-22. Parsons, Lillian Parsons with a great serve in the back. 23-22. Eunice takes a late lead here in set number 1. She makes another good serve. Dexter keeps it alive. They're just going to have to send it over, and they do. Jones, Granados, Acosta slams it down off the block in, and so Acosta with a nice point.
That only came from her strength, man. She pushed right to that block.
That makes it 24-22 set point for the Lady Cardinals here in the first set. There's a substitution just to kind of break the rhythm for the Lady Cardinals. Lillian Parsons headed back to the service line. She is all smiles, pointing at the student section. She throws it up and hits it over. It's a good one. Dexter struggles with it. They kept it alive.
Oh, this stays bouncing again on the Eunice side.
What a shot there by Dexter, and you stood there and watched it hit at their feet.
Wow. Did you get that on film, Charlie?
I got it.
24-23 as
Wow.
Eunice stood and watched that one hit the ground and didn't even make a play on it.
Sorry for laughing so loud, Jones. That was nice.
Wow.
It's still game point for the Eunice Cardinals.
Jasmine Duran heads back to the service line for the Dexter Lady Demons. She throws it up and hits it over. First touch by Marine is off into the bleachers. That's not Marine, I'm sorry, Mcbee. Hits the ceiling and comes down. So that makes it 24-24. It's now a tie ball game. Duran with the serve for Dexter. She hits it toward Mcbee. The first touch is up by the net and we have to clear it.
Oh, they push it back to the back.
Jones with the first touch. Granadas with the set. Acosta's ball hits the net. There's a 50-50
And
ball.
Dexter wins it.
That's 24-25. Dexter was down 2 at 24-22. And it is now 25-24 in favor of the Lady Demons here in set number 1. And the Eunice coach is letting her team have it, and she needs to.
The table was just turned there. It showed who had more passion, more fight. That 50-50 ball should tell you everything, Coach. I mean, it was a tough there, especially when they gave up on that last play. When the Dexter came out of nowhere and took it out of the stands and landed between 2 Eunice players.
I'm trying to be positive over there.
That's that way you're being quiet. Is that way you're being quiet?
I'm trying to be positive.
Jimmy's got a hole in the sun over there.
And just to confirm, number 3 on the court for the Dexter Demons, that is the Cobbles.
That's
Okay.
Cobbles.
I asked her daddy just a minute ago, so
I'll make a little number 3 out here on my little piece of paper.
I appreciate that, sir. They're probably tuning in as well, so.
We appreciate them listening. Our thoughts and prayers with the Dexter community as a whole.
As a whole, correct.
Except for right here in this set. It's 24-25. Dexter leads by 1.
This guy's crazy over here.
Jasmine Duran back to serve for the Lady Demon. She throws it up and hits it over. It's a good one. Acosta gets a good first touch. Or now to Acosta. Acosta just hits it over, which is the right thing to do here. Dexter struggling with that touch. They hit it over.
Oh, she played
Oh my goodness, it is a scramble. I'm telling you.
It's 2 hits on a Dexter Demon player. Woo. That was a close call from the one peak out there. It was out of bounds, but she played it. So makes the score 25-25.
Dexter faithful not liking it. It's now tied up at 25. Ornelas back to serve. She throws it up and hits it over. It's a good one. Dexter with a good first touch. They're going to set. Well, they end up just clearing it. Mcbee with her first touch over to Ornelas. Ornelas to Jasmine. Jasmine sends it across. Dexter struggling with it. It hits off the ceiling, but then they hit it across.
And I don't think it was. She said it's 4, but I don't think it was. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't see anything there.
Yeah.
We'll take the point. 26-25. Eunice in the lead here. The Dexter Demons still trying to ask the ref what happened there, and I got to agree with them. Here goes Ornelas. Her first shot over to Dexter. Dexter's going to try to just clear it, and they do. Ornelas with the first touch. Granadas. Tinley Acosta deflects it off a couple of Demons, and they're going to send it back over, and we've sent a 50-50 ball. At that time, Jasmine wins the 50-50. But, man, that's going to give that first set to Eunice. 27-25.
Wow. What is that?
Eunice got a couple of huge breaks there at the end.
You're not keeping up with the score, son?
I did there, man, but it was insane how they came back and won that game. Like Mr. Jones said, they got a lot of breaks there. Yeah, it was meant to be for them to win. I mean,
yeah, all I can say is that set was brought to you by Redbird Gas. Bart Parker Energy did it for us on that set. 25-27. The Lady Cardinals pull off set number 1.
woo, literally pulled it off.
Yeah.
I mean, it came out of. We've seen 5 different teams out there for Eunice Cardinals. We've seen a sluggish team. We've seen an advanced team. We've seen a third grade team. We've seen a stupid team. I mean, we've seen all of them out there. Hopefully, they got it out of the system in the first set, and the next set they can take care of business.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to some sponsors: Parker Energy Services, BT8 Services and Rental, Eunice Pump and Supply, Eunice Health Clinic, Eunice Public Schools, Eunice Police Department.
You got a text earlier.
Oh, I did?
Yes, sir.
Let me check on my. I'll try to check on my phone. That way I don't interrupt with you over there. The Eunice Police Department, the City of Eunice, Cardinal Hardware, Eunice Wrecker and Rental, Devon Energy, NMR Pipeline, and Redbird Gas. Want to make sure we shout out to them.
And the city of Eunice represented here by Billy Hobbs out there up in front with that Eunice Cardinal shirt and that ball cap he has on. I was going to say it, but we do not zoom in on the ball cap on. He's in there talking to
our mayor. He likes to get in the center of the camera. He wants some camera time.
It's 15 minutes of fame.
He's been known to stand in front of the camera and talk about the city for a while, so I think that's what he's got going on. But we can't complain too much because the city of Eunice is one of our good sponsors, and they want their minute of fame too.
Gotta have a minute of fame.
They just would have had a better face for it, huh?
That's right. That's right. We got the mayor on front and center, right in the middle of the camera, and he's even going to give you the peace sign. So, and then he's going to move over and be right in the camera here. He's wanting some camera time. He can tell us whatever he's wanting, but we know he's just wanting to be on the camera at this point.
That's what it is right there. He's wearing the right shirt. That's all that matters.
That's right. That's right. So, after set number 1, the Lady Cardinals lead 1-0, and
it was a very long set for no need for that. I mean, Dexter had an awesome game.
They
played their heart out.
They're not laying down. They came to play.
And I'm speechless for a change.
So I'm gonna give you my uncensored opinion. I don't think our rotation has looked right this week. It didn't look right Tuesday. It doesn't look right now. And I'm not knocking the coach. That's not my point. But we don't look comfortable where we're at. There looks to be some confusion when in volleyball, when the ball goes back over the net, everybody kind of rotates into different spots. We don't look smooth. We look like we're running into each other out there. Like I used to look in the skating rink back in the day when I'd go out there and had some boys to men playing, and I was skating around the skating rink.
You just dated yourself, huh?
Yeah, I was running into people. I didn't have those skills to weave in and out of folks.
The best way I can describe it is like week 3 of the season, trying to work those little kinks out.
Yeah, and we haven't looked like that the last month or so, and just this week, our rotation just doesn't look as smooth as it's looked the last several weeks.
And that's something we got to have working.
As the season goes on, that rotation looks a little better. So here we go in set number 2. Parsons back to serve for the Lady Cardinals. She'll start us off. She throws it up and sends it over. It's a nice serve. Dexter's first touch hits the ceiling, but they keep it alive. They're just going to slap it over. Jones keeps it alive, and then they're going to bump it over. So Eunice does a good job, and now Dexter does the same thing. Parsons to Acosta, and Acosta sends that one a little long, and Eunice trails 0-1 here in the second set.
A little too much power on that one. She was a little excited after the first game for that one.
Is that 10 that's back there? Jasmine Duran?
10.
Okay. Or De La Rosa.
That's
16. De La Rosa.
De La Rosa.
Emily De La Rosa. Back to serve. Jones with the first touch. Granadas over to Sarah.
Oh, she misses
Sarah
last
missed
minute.
that one. All right. So it's 2-0. Eunice trails by 2. They'll send De La Rosa.
De La Rosa back up to the line to serve.
Back to serve.
Do it in Spanish. De La Rosa va a
This
sacar la pelota
bumper
aquí.
looks like it was pulled off by the bus of De La Rosa. Acosta with the spike, and the libero for Dexter couldn't handle it, and now Eunice 2-1.
Yeah, it was a good spike. I mean,
Absolutely. Acosta with a nice shot.
he does put a lot of power on that.
Vivi Ornelas comes into the game. She's going to come in and serve. She throws it up, hits it over. It's a good one. Dexter with the first touch is not going to get up, and so Eunice with a service point off Ornelas' serve.
Makes it 2-2 here in the second set. Eunice won the first set here in Eunice, New Mexico. Eunice, New Mexico.
Joe Langston Gymnasium. Not to be confused with Joe Mama's Gymnasium. Dexter going to hit that one back over in the middle. They send it across. Eunice with the first touch. Ornelas to Martinez. Martinez slams it over, but Dexter keeps it alive. They're going to set it up in the middle.
Ooh.
And Mcbee does a really good job right there of picking that one up. And then Yolanda Granadas showing some muscle. She looked like her brother, the football Granados Antonio.
Who's playing some college
I'm
ball.
telling you,
And
she put some
starting some
muscle
college
into
ball.
that one and threw it out the back. Looked like she was Antonio out there. That's number 10, Duran with the serve. Jones with the first touch. Eunice Ornelas sends it across. Dexter is showing a little confusing, but they get it back. Mcbee, Ornelas to Granadas, and Granadas slams it home, and she's going to get a service or a hit point.
goes 3-3. It's going to be back and forth all night long.
All right. So Jones heads back to the service line at this point. It's 3-3. Chloe Jones back to serve. She throws it up and hits it over. It's a deep one.
Oh, she hit it out of bounds.
And it was about a foot or two long. So Jones with the lengthy serve, and it is out of bounds. So now Eunice trails 3-4. So that's number 4, Alexa Miramontes back to serve for the Demons. Eunice sends that one across, a 50-50 ball at the net, but Eunice ends up getting it back across. Dexter's going to jump up and smack that one, and they smack it over toward Hobbs Eagle country.
A lot of that's happening. These ladies' arms are already warmed up to be spiking that ball. That last game, it took them a while to warm them up, but we got them warm.
Speaking of Hobbs Eagle country, the Eagles host Centennial this week. A battle of top 5 teams in 5 or 6A, whatever they are, football. Should be a good one.
Friday night in Hobbs?
Yes. I believe that's right. Granadas slams down Dexter struggling. The ball finds the floor, and Eunice is now up 5-4.
Man, that was a spike. That girl, that cannon's warming up.
Yeah, Granadas slammed that one down. Yolanda said, let me show you something.
Let me show you what I got.
Tinley Acosta back to the service line again. The senior throws it up and hits it over. It's a nice one. A little soft touch on that one.
Oh,
Zamora and two Demons trip over each other. It sounds like the beginning of a bad joke. 6-4, the Lady Cardinals in the lead. Tinley Acosta doing a good job at the service line, and y'all can smack me because I usually jinx folks when I say that. She hits that one over. It's a good one.
Most of the time it's your own kid or you jinxer.
That's usually true. That's Kobos that sends it over. Jones with the first touch, or Nales to Didi. Didi sends it deep, but Dexter keeps it alive, and they're just going to send it over. Jones with the dive and save. And there's a deflection at the line from Granados. Antonio, you should be proud if you're watching at home. She's playing with some Antonio muscle.
I'm telling you, that's 4 straight here. She's gone up and took advantage of it. She's got a big old smile on her face. She's enjoying the game. That's what matters.
7-4 here. The Lady Cardinals in the lead. Acosta serve is a good one. Dexter trying to keep it alive, and they do.
They're going to say 2 hits.
They're going to call him for that double hit.
Why did she not spike that? She was supposed to net. And Fuentes, she's a pretty tall young lady out there.
So that makes it 8-4 in favor of the Lady Cardinals. Tinley Acosta back at the service line. The Dexter Demons asking the ref if she can explain the situation to them, as they've been called for that multiple times. Tinley Acosta back to the service line. The senior for the Lady Cardinals throws it up, slams it over. It's a good one, and Dexter struggles with it. It hits the floor. It's 9-4.
And nobody saw the timeout yet. I'm assuming they would here.
He did.
And sure enough, Dexter Demons called timeout, making the score 9-4 here in the second set in Eunice, New Mexico. And Eunice is leading.
Coach Krasowski decides to take a timeout.
Krasowski. Isn't that guy off of Monsters, Inc.? Krasowski.
Krasowski. Yeah, I think you're right. It is Krasowski. What is he, like a big blue thing?
He has one eye. He's just one big eye.
One big eyeball.
Yeah, one big eyeball.
And I think that is Krasowski.
I ain't Krasowski.
Yeah,
we're not making fun of the coaches.
No, just
imitating the guy off the movie Main Monsters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Correct myself there.
Right. Hey, want to shout out to some sponsors: Redbird Gas, NMR, Pipeline LLC, Devon Energy, the Eunice Wrecker and Rental, and I smell jalapeno peppers, and I hadn't ate all day, so I'm hungry. Cardinal Hardware, the City of Eunice, Eunice Police Department, Eunice Public Schools, Eunice Health Clinic, Eunice Pump and Supply, BTH Services and Rental, and Parker Energy Services. Shout out to the Kickster. Tinley Acosta heads back to the service line. Eunice leads 9-4. We're in set number 2. Eunice won the first set in the battle. Here goes the serve. She hits it over. It's a good one. Dexter with a good first touch. They're going to set it outside for Kobos.
Oh.
It's a misplayed ball by Granados. It ends up in the air. We keep it alive. We're just going to have to clear it, though. And we do, and they just clear it right back. And we were not expecting
it. Sometimes those long volleys, Eunice seems to be a little congested in the same spot.
It's that rotation that I was talking about, and that's what I mean about we rotate into different places every time the ball goes across. So we're in our rotation when they're sending the ball back over. So it's 9-5. Ooh. Dexter with the serve, and man, she hammered that one. There is a spike at the net by Granados, and she didn't have Antonio muscle on that one. She hit it into the net. And that'll be a point for the Lady Demons. It's now 9-6. Number 3, Kobos back to serve. She throws it up and spikes it over. It's a good one.
Serve.
Jones with a good first touch. Now just sends it across. Kobos is going to set it up outside for Carrillo, and she hits it into the net.
Man, that's good there for Eunice. It makes it 10-6 here in the second set.
Once again, Eunice leads 1-0. We are in the second set. It's 10-6. Eunice in the lead here. Yolanda Granadas, the senior, back to serve for the Lady Card. She throws it up and hits it over. It's a good one. Dexter's first touch is right up in the net. 50-50 ball, and we hit it out of bounds.
And I thought she was going to call a double hit because that ball was rotating kind of funny. But she hit it with one hand, so it couldn't be a double hit, right?
So that makes it 10-7. I don't think so, but once again, I don't know. Oh, okay, here we go. I was like, what in the world is going on? But
Running off the court.
Yeah, with the ball. Like
What is wrong with her?
Trying to run a touchdown.
Did you see Granado tackling her? That'd be funny.
Dexter's got a new person in the back. I think that's Salazar for
Number
the
8.
serve. Granados over to Reeves, and Reeves with a nice touch right into the open space. Sarah Reeves showing she's got more than blocking defense. She puts a nice touch on that ball to score a point, and it's 7-11 like a big goal.
Could you imagine when she masters that craft?
Absolutely. Yeah, she's going to do well. Didi Zamora with a nice serve. Dexter struggling with it. Parsons sends it back across. Balls are flying everywhere. And it's now 8-11. It's not a big gulp anymore.
And no longer our thirst is gone.
That's right.
Our
Jones
thirst
comes
is
back
gone.
in. Zamora goes out. So Fuentes will be back to serve for Dexter, and she hits it into the net. It's now 13-8.
On that serve, she stepped over the line as well.
I think the person that would have to call that would be one of our, and usually when you're in this type of environment, you have like a, yeah, and so anyway. So it's 12-8. Lillian Parsons back to serve. She throws it up and she smashes it for an ace. That's probably the best serve of the game.
By far.
Parsons, throughout the season, has maybe been our best server. If you remember at the beginning of the season, she would throw the ball up and it would almost touch the ceiling. She's kind of lowered it a little bit, but she still smacks it with some authority. Dexter's going to set up.
On the back row, because Parsons was serving, correct?
Yep, and I think that's Carrillo that's headed to the service line for the Demons. She hits it across. Jones with a good first touch. Granada sets Acosta. Acosta with a nice shot. The ball gets into the roof. Dexter gets it back across, though. Granadas over to Acosta. Acosta spins that one down the net, but Dexter keeps it alive. They're going to set it outside for Duran, and she hits it into the net.
She barely missed that ball. Barely missed that ball for the Dexter Demons. The Dexter Demons.
The Dexter Lady Demons.
Lady
Not
Demons.
the Dow Lady Panthers or the Lovington Lady Wildcats. Shout out to Lovington. Our thoughts and prayers with you. I understand one of their buses with their varsity and JV soccer team was in an accident today. Only some minor injuries is what's been reported, but our thoughts and prayers with them.
It's been a tough year.
Yes, it has. 14-10 on the service error from the Lady Cardinals.
And this is what we expect from the Lady Cardinals, to play this hard, this passion, and this much fun to have on the court right now.
Number 10, Jasmine Martinez back to serve for the Lady Demons. Good first touch by Tinley Acosta. They're going to set her right back up, but she slams it down. Tinley Acosta says, not in my house.
She pushed that ball right to that block like nothing.
Yep.
You know that girl's hands are hurting right now.
Yep. She slammed it down. Nice touch by Tinley Acosta.
Oh, we got a rotation?
Oh, no. That would stink.
Or we're just checking it.
It's 15-10 here for the Lady Cardinals.
Did she ask for the check? Did the Eunice coach ask for it?
Don't know. I hope so.
Okay.
Because
So she asked for it, we're good.
I think and I don't, that has never made sense to me. If they catch it, then the other team gets the point. If we ask for the rotation, then we save the
No harm,
point.
no foul.
No harm, no foul, yeah.
Even if it's already happened.
Yep.
As long as we ask for it, it's okay.
Volleyball and soccer are two sports that are kind of confusing. So many little rules you have to know. Soccer, you got to have both feet down when you
See,
throw
and
it in.
I guess we had a wrong person on the floor. And it's not going to cost us because we asked for the...
And sometimes the scorekeeper or the track keeper on the team for the opposing teams keeps track of that.
So it's 15-10. Eunice will be back to serve again. They throw it up and hit it over. It's a good one from Jones. First touch, They're going to set it up outside
Oh.
for Flores.
Beautiful
And
job.
she hit it right down the line. Jones stretched out, looked like Superman sliding across the floor,
Could
but
not get
couldn't
there.
get it up.
That ball was a kryptonite right there.
So that makes it 15-11. I thought that's what it was before, but anyway, it shows 15-11. Dexter back to serve. That's number 4, Mary Montes. She hit the nice soft one right over the
Another.
net. They're going to set up. Oh, Eunice had some confusion again there. Dexter's just going to send it across. McBee with a good first touch. They set up Acosta. Acosta slams it down, but Dexter keeps it alive. Dexter's just going to send it across and it hit the ceiling. And that will be a point for the Lady Cardinals. The scoreboard shows 16-11. Is that right?
Yes, sir. That's correct. It seems like it should be more, but we're just dragging along.
I actually thought they had 12. Tanley Acosta back to serve. She throws it up and hits it over. First touch by Dexter's a good one. They misplay the second touch, so they just send it across. Parsons to Ornalis. I'm sorry, that's Granadas to Ornalis. Back to Granadas who sends it over. Dexter's Cobos slams it into the net.
So it's 17-11 now.
17-11. Tanley Acosta, the senior, still at the service line. Doing
Here in
an
the
excellent
second
job.
set.
Yes, sir. She throws it up and smacks it. It's a good one. Oh, Dexter misplays that, and that's a service point from Acosta.
That was going out of bounds there. She helped us out there. She needs to find that line.
18-11. Tinley Acosta still at the service line. She throws it up and smacks it. It's a good one again.
Oh, knuckler, huh?
Yeah. Jones with the first touch. Over to Ornalis. Ornalis to Parsons, and Parsons slammed that one into the net.
Directly into the net, making the score 18-12.
I think they're struggling with that. I don't know why. Granadas with the first touch. Ornalis to Parsons. Parsons with a slam dunk. Says, let me show you something. Slams it down into the back row for point 19-12.
And I think the reason they do that way, they can have Parsons in the front.
Oh, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I just think we've changed our substitution.
Oh, and they don't catch
So,
up to how
Yeah,
it goes.
the rotation's off a little bit as far as where the kids are supposed to cross in front of and who's where. So there's a first touch by Maureen. It's up over the net,
Oh, she touched it barely.
and she got in the net. Yeah, she was in the net on that
Fuentes
side.
just touched it, man.
So that'll be back over here. It's now 20-12. Lady Cardinals in the lead. Granados back to serve. Yolanda Granadas throws it up and hits it over. She slams it.
Long serve.
Duran tried to stick an arm out there. It deflects off her arm, goes out of bounds. Service ace by Granados.
She should have moved her legs that were her feet in front of it, but. Oh, well.
Granados back to serve again. It's 12-11. Or I'm sorry, 21. A nice shot there. Dexter keeps this one alive, though. They're going to set the back row.
Oh.
Jones with the first touch. Over to Granados. Parsons tips it. Dexter keeps it alive. And they're just going to send it deep, and it's out of bounds.
I mean, beautiful job by the Eunice Cardinals, watching the ball, trying to make something out of nothing, which Parsons did, just push it over.
So now Dexter's going to take a timeout. It's 22-12. The Eunice Cardinals in the lead. And this timeout is going to be brought to you by Cardinal Hardware and Lumber. If you need to lay the wood, you can get it right down there at Cardinal Hardware and Lumber. In a situation like today, we got rain falling. If you got some flooding, whatever you might have going on,
Some sandbags if you need them.
that's
Some
right.
duct tape and a shovel. We got to bury somebody if we need to. A dog that passes away or some cat. My cat's crazy. I don't know about. My cat is crazy. He got out last night. He didn't want to come in. It was raining all night.
You might even be able to get the materials to make a doghouse or a cat house if
There you
need
go.
one.
There you go. That's perfect right there. Get some treated wood. That won't be so.
Keep from swelling.
Yeah, keep them swollen with all the moisture in the air.
Oh, me. It's 22-12.
Here in the second set in Eunice, New Mexico at the Joe Langston Stadium.
That's right.
Oh.
So here goes the serve, and the
Buzzer goes off.
horn went off right as she was getting ready to throw it. I don't know what happened there. You know, we've noticed
Jump
that the
ball.
last few games. So the horn went off right as Granadas was getting ready to serve, and she hit it into the net. They're going to let her redo. So there it goes, and there is another error in the back off that. I'm assuming her ball must look like a knuckleballs that's coming across there because they've struggled with her serve in the back.
Or that young lady can't see the ball because of the cheerleaders.
She might need some of them Thompson glasses.
Oh.
So they're going to throw it up and hit it across again. It's another ace, and it's right at the feet of a Lady Demon player again. I'm telling you, she's giving them fits.
It's the same one. She's just picking on her now.
It's 24-12. The Lady Cardinals have doubled up the score here. We're in set number 2. Yolanda Granadas back to serve. She slams that one over and it hits her in the face. That's 25-12. Eunice wins set number 2 on a heck of a service run there from Yolanda Granadas. That service run was brought to you by the Eunice Police Department. You want to talk about a service run? Those folks out there involved in public safety for the community, they're doing some service. We appreciate it.
Yeah, tremendously. And this is the team we've seen all year play. They came out, they hit other points. They made 0, maybe 1 or 2 mistakes, but they corrected them right away. And you keep saying the rotation, they're struggling. Hopefully they figured it out this game and we can maintain this consistency on that court.
Now, once again, I go back to last game. Yeah, we were somewhat negative, but it was because our play was negative. Whatever I say, in my opinion, reflects what I see out here. I'm just telling you what I see. And if we look bad, I'm going to tell you we look bad. If we look good, I'm going to jump around and go crazy like I did during that set, screaming and hollering and saying, man, did you see that? And I just tell it like it is. And for those of you that like it, great. And if you don't, I don't know, mute me or something is all I can say.
and that's a blessing in disguise to meet you, you know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you. Uh-oh.
Reggie's on the court going crazy.
Uh-oh. We got some dancing. They're trying to get more dancers out there. Uh-oh, we're shaking our tail feather.
Trying to fly. The bird's trying to fly.
Bird says I'm not dancing anymore.
They pulled the hammy.
Yep. So we are here in between the second and third sets. Eunice is up 2-0. A lot of noise here in Cardinal, our Joe Langston Gymnasium today. Shout out to some sponsors again. Redbird, yes, speaking of Redbird, we had a Redbird out there dancing on the court a while ago. Shout out to Bart Parker and all his gang. NMR Pipeline LLC, Dale Bettis, Billy Thrash. You know, while we're talking Bettises and Thrash, man, shout out to Charlie Bettis. You know, just somewhat of a patriarch for this community. Does so much for people. Just an amazing, amazing person. Cardinal Hardware, Eunice Wrecker and Rental, Devon Energy, City of Eunice, Eunice Police Department, Eunice Public Schools, the Eunice Health Clinic, Eunice Pump and Supply, BTH Services and Rental, and Parker Energy Services. Thank you for all that you do.
Yeah, they're great sponsors year-round, and they don't just sponsor the radio station. If you have a young man or for the PTO trying to sell tickets to go to their business, and they'll buy them, and that's what's beautiful about this small communities. We seem to take care of each other in any time or any type of situation we're in.
Yeah,
and we're blessed that way.
I know, like my wife has had a kid that is needing some glasses, and I've had a couple of those same folks that do so much for our community that have been willing to reach out and help. Just good people in this community for sure. They'll help anybody.
And it's been like that for many, many years. They're announcing the pick up your trash, so
yeah,
we
so
need a big trash can for Charlie.
All of you back home, pick up your trash if you're listening at home. It's 2-0.
You see what happened on the court?
And
play around too much, man.
We're going to do the chest bump, and somebody ran right in between them as they got ready to do it, so they almost had a crash.
You're going to get hurt.
Blow a hammy out there trying to do a chest bump.
It's De La Rosa going to serve for the Dexter Demons. And beautiful job there.
Jasmine Martinez slams that one down. Dexter can't keep it alive. That slam was brought to you by Cardinal Hardware. She slammed it down. It's like I slammed the wood.
There you go, and she pushed right through that wooden block right there.
That's right. So it's 1-0. The Lady Cards back to serve. At Parsons, she nice serve. That's a 50-50 ball. Jasmine Martinez wins it, and it's 2-0 on 2 points from Jasmine Martinez.
Boom, boom. Just like that. And what's nice, you look out there and they're all smiling.
Lillian Parsons back to serve again. She throws it up, spanks it over. It's a
Oh,
nice
ace.
one, and that ball hit the feet of the Demon player.
It's coming so fast at him, it's dropping, and they don't know what to do. Get out of the way or hit it, they're saying.
This is the Lady Cardinal team that we expected on Tuesday. Lillian Parsons throws it up, hits it over. It's another good serve. The first touch is up.
50-50
It's a
ball.
50-50 ball, and Eunice Martinez and
Parsons is tearing it up.
yes,
Was it a beach volleyball? Because this is only 2 out there playing right now.
4-0. Eunice in the lead. Here's the slam. That is a nice one, but Dexter gets that one up into the air, and they're going to send it across. Jones with the first touch. Granadas is going to set Acosta. Acosta slams it
beautiful
down.
job on the
Jones
backside.
with the backside keeps it alive, and then Dexter dives in, sends it back across. Jones, Granadas, Acosta, and Acosta's ball sails out. Dexter scores their first point of the set. It's now 4-1.
Yeah, it was a beautiful job on the Dexter job. The Cobalt came out of nowhere, dove underneath and picked the ball straight up to keep the ball alive for him, and they got the point out of that.
And that'll send number 10, Jasmine Moran, back to serve for the Lady Demons. She serves that one across to Mcbee with a good first touch. They're going to set up Jasmine Martinez, and that ball sails out of bounds. It's now 4-2.
4-2 here in the set number 3, and Eunice leads 2 sets to 0.
Yep. So Dexter back to serve again. Once again, this is Duran. She serves it over. Jones with the first touch over to Granadas. Granadas to Acosta. Acosta slams it down. Dexter keeps it alive and just sends it back. Mcbee with a good first touch. They set up Acosta, who sends it across. Dexter can't come up with it. And Acosta with another kill.
Making the score 5-2. And Acosta still staying alive out there, hitting that ball over like she needs to, and giving Eunice some points.
That'll send Vivi Ornelas back to the service line, number 14 for the Lady Cardinals. Ornelas has it. She spins it around, throws it up, hits it over, and it is long. That looked like a Eunice Cardinal baseball hit there.
Going in his gown, out of bounds there.
Eunice Cardinal baseball program, the most successful baseball
Have you
program
seen
in
that
New
turf?
Mexico history.
Sorry to interrupt you, but have you seen the turf on that field and the softball field?
I have, and it looks nice. It looks
Man,
nice.
that makes
I would
me
like
wonder.
to see more red on it, but I like it. I mean, it looks nice. I'm just always one of them folks, like when we were talking about floors for the new gym, there's so much you can do. I don't want to just see some wood brown out there. I want to make it look cool. Anyway, that said, I do like it. I think it looks amazing. Dexter sends it across. Eunice Mcbee picks it up. They set up Parsons. Parsons slams it down. Dexter keeps it alive. They set up Duran in the back row, and she hits it into the net for the Lady Demons.
And they put that score up quick. I was like, 6 or 5.
6-3.
And that's Granados. Hitting him in the go. She looks a lot like Parsons.
Yeah.
Number 6 with Eunice.
Gotcha. So that'll
Parsons
send Jones back to the service line. She throws it up, and what in the world was that one?
You need to let me announce her.
She hit it into the net.
It's the same thing in basketball. Every time you say anything when she's on the free throw line.
Oh, no, I got the touch there. I got to tell her to follow through, all that good stuff.
Oh.
Here's the serve. Jones with a good first touch on a great serve by Cobos. Dexter with a good first touch. Cobos going to set up Carrillo. Carrillo sends it to the back row. Mcbee over to Ornelas, and then Acosta sends that one too deep, and it is out of bounds. Dexter on the trying to catch up here. Don't call it a comeback like LL. It's 6-5.
LL Cool J for those people out there listening.
Number 3, Cobos with the serve, and that one sails out of bounds. Jones made the right decision at the last
Let it
minute.
go.
She was about to stick her hands up there, and they said, whoop, pulled him back. It's 7-5.
Got some quick hands, huh?
Yep,
Got some Ric Flairs in the stands.
I'm telling you. Acosta throws it up. She hits it over. It's a good serve. Nice little soft one. Dexter gets confused with it, but then they hit it all the way out of bounds. Almost got it slipping in the back row.
I know. All I hear is, ooh.
It's now 8-5. The Lady Cards in the lead here in set number 3. Henley Acosta throws it up, hits it over. It's a good serve. Dexter misplays it, and it is 9-5, like Dolly Parton back in the day when she was working.
Sing some of that.
9 to 5, what a way to make a living. I don't know how the rest goes.
I don't
Charlie?
know. Charlie,
Charlie, don't know.
I have nothing on that.
Acosta sends this serve across. It's 9-5, Eunice in the lead. Cobos going to set up Fuentes. They send it across. Ornelas to Parsons. Parsons with a nice shot. It finds the floor. Parsons with the kill. It's 10-5.
Eunice Lady Cardinals are making it look easy right now. They're having fun. They're getting to the right rotations, and they're taking care of business.
That'll send Tinley Acosta back to the service stripe again. She throws it up, jumps into the air, jump serve. Dexter does a good job keeping it alive. They're just going to send it across. Ornelas going to set up Parsons. Parsons slams it down, but Dexter keeps it alive again, and now they're just going to send it. They do. Granadas, Ornelas, Zamora. Zamora slam dunked it. She palmed it like MJ. Dexter struggling with it. They hit it into the ceiling. It deflects off the ceiling on our side, which is a point for the Lady Cardinals.
When Zamora does that, she scares me a little bit because sometimes she pushes it into their
It's
own
like
net.
she palms it and throws it where she wants it to go.
Is that legal?
No. 11-5. Acosta hits it.
you said that? No. No, I'm mad at me.
Acosta
Sorry,
with
man.
a touch. Oh, and Granadas does a good job of getting that one back across, and Dexter hits it into the net.
I promise you, Mr. Jones, I won't ask no more questions. The remainder of this net, okay?
It's 5'12", about as tall as my partner Resendo. 5'12".
He said no.
Tinley Acosta with the serve. That ball's misplayed. Dexter can't come up with it, and Acosta says, "You just got aced."
Man, he's hangry.
I am angry. I'm hungry.
I'll give him a 305 here.
Dexter calls the time out up here, so if you have time, run Mr. Jimmy Jones hamburger, cheeseburger, anything. He's about to bite my head
Some
off.
with jalapenos.
I'm sure my wife's going to make me something tonight. She didn't make me anything last night because we were late getting out of here, and tonight's game started even later. So this domestic violence situation that we're about to have is brought to you by the Eunice Police Department, as we got a hangry announcer up here.
Hey, I'll bring you a burrito next time, next game.
I'm telling you, 3 days in a row this week, we have worked through the court hour at lunch because we've been so busy, and hadn't even got to leave for lunch. So I hadn't ate all day. I didn't eat nothing all day long. I didn't eat all day yesterday until we got home after the volleyball game, and my wife got me a salad. Now, in her defense, I've been trying to be a little healthier.
So just you're fasting 18, 20 hours a day?
Yeah,
I
man,
don't know if
probably
that's
more
healthy.
like 20, 22 hours a day, maybe 23.
No wonder you look so young.
I
I gotta make them brownie points now.
I've got a new vibrant look to
There
me.
you go, you're glowing.
That's because I'm pregnant. 13-5. Tinley Acosta with a heck of a serve right there. She gets another service ace. It's 14-5.
Keep in mind, tomorrow's game is going to be in the evening. If you need me, I can pack your lunch.
Yeah, we're going to have to get over there early and set up our little table because the JAL administration has already said we will not be in the booth. So, thanks, JAL. Jones smashes that one overhand toward the back row. The Eunice bench is getting noisy over there. I like it. Acosta to Ornelas to Granadas, who slam dunks that one for another kill. It's 5-15. Eunice is looking like the Eunice we expected on Tuesday. So those of you out there that think I'm negative, here's your little positivity. We look pretty dang good right now.
We look awesome right now, dude.
Acosta throwing it up. She's going to slam it over. It's a good serve. Dexter gets it up, picks it up nice. They're going to set up Durant in the back. She hits it deep, but Jones keeps it alive. They're going to set up Jones in the back, and she slams it home. But Dexter keeps it alive and sends it
50-50
across. There's a 50-50 ball, and Zamora was up there with number 32, Fuentes. And the ball finds the floor on the Eunice side. It's 15-6.
15-6, man. Man, I thought she was going to get that 50-50 ball. If we would have got that, man, the crowd would have gone crazy.
Eunice trying some different things. If you've noticed, they're setting up some of their people in the back row. You see a lot of teams do that. We haven't done it much this year, but it looks like it's working okay for us right now. Dexter going to set it at the net, and Jones dives for that, gets one hand on it, but can't get enough to pick it up. It was slammed by Fuentes toward that back corner. She dove out there, stuck a left hand out, but
Try to
couldn't
keep
keep it
it in play.
15-7. Dexter serving. That's Salazar. Maureen with the nice first touch. They're going to set Granadas. They do. She slams it down, but Dexter does an excellent job picking it up, and they're just going to send it across. Maureen to Ornelas, and Ornelas with a double touch.
And just like that, it's 15-8. And
sometimes you get a little out of your norm and your routine, and you find yourselves in a little bit of a predicament.
Just
Dexter
like that.
Trying to crawl back into this. It's 15-8. Jones with the first touch over to Ornelas. Ornelas tries to set Jones, and Jones hits it from deep into the net.
They got 3 set back there. She needs to get one. And Eunice is going to call a timeout. How come? And I don't know why, since they're leading 15-9 here in the third set.
15-9, probably that run that they're putting. I don't think that last ball was meant to be a serve to the, or to a set to the back row.
I concur, because when it came off her hands, it went that way.
Yeah, I think that last one was a oops, here it is, and we tried to hit it over. The time before that was definitely a set to the back, and she hit it over, but then on the way back, we had that 50-50 ball.
Woo, we almost lost the cheerleader there.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that ain't no good.
Good catch. Catch your breath. Woo. And the crowd goes quiet on that
I
one.
want to make sure we shout out to some sponsors while we've got some silence. Redbird Gas, NMR Pipeline, Devon Energy, Eunice Wrecker and Rental, Cardinal Hardware, the City of Eunice, Eunice Police Department, Eunice Public School, Eunice Health Clinic, Eunice Pump and Supply, BTH Services and Rental, and Parker Energy Services, who brings you this sponsor, or this serve from Salazar of Dexter. Parker brings it to you, and Jones returns it. They set it up for Granada. She touches it right into the gap in the middle. It's 16-9 on a nice touch.
She was going to go there the whole time. As soon as she seen it open, it was a love tap out there.
Gets it right where she needs to.
She goes back down to the serve now.
So Granadas throws it up, sends it over. It's the serve. That was awfully strange, and that definitely caught the Cardinals. And the player from Dexter didn't do any of that volleyball mumbo jumbo that you normally do.
Chop and
Yeah,
just sit it over.
That was a ninja chop. She just karate'd it. So the libero back to serve. She hits it to Maureen. Maureen to Granados. Granados sets Parsons. Parsons slam dunks it over. The Dexter faithful not liking that touch.
And Didi with the block there.
They're going to set it up for Durant. She just sends it across. Eunice struggling to get Parsons. Great. And that ball across.
Man, the sun is shining in this gym tonight right there.
17-10. Even though we've got rain, there is some sun shining.
Wow. That was a beautiful job by the Lady Cardinals.
Jones heads out. Martinez heads in. Didi Zamora back at the service stripe. 17-10. Eunice in the lead. Zamora serves a good one. Dexter struggling with it. Martinez slams it down. Dexter gets it back across, though, and there's nobody there. That's that first touch defensive player was over on the side on the rotation, and you had some of your front row people, if you look,
blocking each
that
other.
are normally not there. So just a rotation issue.
Makes 17-11. Eunice leads.
The serve here by, I couldn't tell. Eunice going to set Granados to Martinez. Dexter struggling with that one. And Maureen was able to hit that one into the ceiling. It caught that little rattling cage thing up there and came straight back down, and we couldn't get to it. It's 17-12.
Man, Eunice looks like a different team right now, these last 2 points.
So here goes Dexter back to serve. That's number 9, Carrillo. Parsons over to, they're going to set Parsons back the other way, and she slams it down. Dexter can't come up with it, and that's going to make it 18-12.
18-12 here in the third set. Eunice leads 2-0. And Acosta is going to come back in for the front row there.
Maureen goes out, Acosta comes in, and Lillian Parsons back to serve for the Eunice Cardinals. She throws it up, slams it, and slammed it into the net that time.
She just missed it too on that serve.
18-13. McBee comes in now, and Parsons heads over to the side.
No talk by the coach there, huh?
Yes, getting a pep talk. Duran back to serve for the Lady Demons. She hits a good one. McBee's first touch over to Granadas, and then Acosta. Acosta slams that one into the block and under the ground. It's 19-13.
Getting closer to that victory, right?
Yes. In comes Vivi. She heads in. Sarah Reeves heads over to the side. Vivi Ornelas in the serve for the Lady Card. She throws it up, hits it over. It's a good one. Dexter sends it across. A one-handed swing by Granadas sends it back again. Once again, this is some backyard volleyball at a picnic. Ornelas sends that one straight up. Granadas over to Acosta. Acosta slams it deep. Dexter struggling with it. They had a crash in the back, but then they get it across.
Wow.
Jones, Ornelas, Acosta. Acosta hits it across. Dexter keeps it alive. They're going to set up person in the back row. Jones, Ornelas, Granadas slams it down, and a point for the Lady Cardinals at the arm of Granadas.
She got that. She's hit it hard enough to hit the block that falls straight down.
Yep.
It worked, right?
Yes, sir.
Any little bit counts.
So it's 20-13. The Lady Cards in the lead in set number 3. They lead 2-0 in the sets. Dexter with a good first touch. They're going to smack it from the back row, and they hit that one deep, way back, way back. It may be, it could be. Holy cow, Harry Carey, Judge, whoever it is, Barry Bonds, but it's out of here. And unfortunately, they don't work for the Demons.
Demons. Too far. Ooh, what was that?
Dexter struggles
low
with
set
that
there.
serve. Couldn't do anything off the serve of Ornelas, and it's now 22-13.
Let's hope she finishes him, because I'm getting cold. I see you wore a sweater
I
tonight.
did on purpose. If you look, I'm dressed like it's winter
I
time.
thought you went jogging for a second before the game.
Oh man, I put on the sweats. I put on this is a thick sweater too. This ain't no normal. This is like a insulated
I
outdoor
thought you
sweater.
just put some weight on, but it's just because it's a thick sweater.
No, it's because I got weight on. But
You said weight on.
that's why the wife hasn't been feeding me the last 3 days. She's trying to make me starve because she's tired of me looking like a pot belly oink oink.
Oh,
So,
you got a little piggity wiggly,
that's
huh?
right. Speaking of pot belly oink oinks, surely somebody. Let's see here. We gotta have somebody we can tie to a pot belly oink oink.
Eunice pumping supply. They can get you one if you need one.
Yeah, they probably can. They can find you one or help you build like a little spot in your backyard for one. Here in Eunice, if you want to, pot
If you
belly
need the
oink
supply.
oink, you can have one in your yard. We had one running around this town for a couple years, if you remember. It's 22-13. Ornelas back to serve.
He's just going way back there. I ain't even, when am I going to come to that? You know what I'm saying?
They're going to hit it across. They do a great first touch. By the
myself
Demons.
right here.
They send it across. Mcbee with a great first touch. Over to Ornelas, to Acosta, and Acosta slams that one into the net. It's 22-14.
They said it was 2 hits on the Eunice Cardinals on that set, so there was a lot of noise here. There's nobody here from Dexter. That many people here from Dexter.
Yeah, they got a few noisy ones on their side, though. This is Miramontes back to serve for the Lady Demons. Jones dives in, gets it up, but it sails over toward the angle, and nobody was in that area where it went, so it sails out of bounds. It's 22-15. The Lady Cardinals are still in the lead by 7.
We need to finish the game.
Miramontes with the serve.
Oh,
That's
50-50 ball.
a 50-50 ball. They're going to set it up for Parsons out here. She slams it down. Dexter's going to send it across. Mcbee.
Yolanda. Oh. That was Yolanda who his spot.
The first touch was Mcbee.
Yeah,
In the back.
McBee. And they said it for Yolanda. That 6 and that 8 is confusing, and they both have black hair.
Oh, I see what you're saying
Yeah.
about the hit of
Yes,
the
sir.
net. Yeah. So Acosta with the first touch. Ornelas over to Granadas. She hits it deep. Dexter does a really good job keeping it alive. They're just going to send it across. There's a double hit.
23-16, coach.
Yep, we got a chance here. Chloe Jones heads back to the service line for the Lady Cardinals. Martinez heads out. Didi Zamora comes in. Jones at the service line. She throws it up and hits it. It's a nice one.
Oh,
It
it's
finds
an
the
ace.
floor, and she's going to pick up a service ace for Chloe Jones. It's 24-16 after the Jones ace. It's set point, match point. Eunice leads 2-0. Jones at the service line, throws it up and hits it over. It's a good one. Dexter gets it up, though. They're going to try to make a play. Jones with a good first touch. They send it across. Acosta's just going to send it sailing. I can't see. Ornelas,
Not because of the glasses.
Granadas, Acosta.
Oh,
hits that
she
one
hits it out.
the back of the.
Jim.
She ends it out the back. So it's 24-17.
And the crowd was into it. They were screaming,
Yes.
I believe that we will win.
Yeah, we were doing the I believe that we will win chant. Kiki Montes back to serve for the Lady Demons. She hits it across. I tell you, when everybody starts standing, it gets hard to see up here. And there is a point. I couldn't tell who hit it.
Didi.
Didi some more, I think. And that is going to be the end of it as Eunice wins 3-0, 25-17 in this set here. That's 3-0. Want to make sure we shout out to some sponsors. Parker Energy Services, BTH Services and Rental, Eunice Pump and Supply, Eunice Health Clinic, Eunice Public Schools, the Eunice Police Department, the City of Eunice, Cardinal Hardware, Eunice Wrecker and Rental, Devon Energy, NMR Pipeline LLC, and Redbird Gas. Thank you for making these broadcasts possible. Thank you for all that you do. Eunice with the win. I got to jump out of volleyball for just a minute and jump into football. Tomorrow night, be there, be square, or be listening to our broadcast. It's Eunice versus Jow, the rematch of last year's state championship game. It's number 1 versus number 2. It's undefeated versus 1 loss. It's blue versus red. It's gold versus white. It's Emmy versus Jimmy. It's I'm sure I can think of a whole bunch.
We can be here all night with those.
Tomorrow night is a huge game. Now, as you can see, or as you saw last year, Jow came to Eunice, put the whooping on Eunice. Then Eunice went to Jow, put the smackdown on them down there for the 5th championship in a row for the Cardinals, depending on what you want to count and what you don't. But they did that last year. It doesn't matter who's what, how good this team is, that team. Anytime you have Eunice and Jow, it's going to be a great football game. I don't know. It should be entertaining.
It's going to be very entertaining, especially for us in the stands trying to get to relay the game to y'all who are listening to it at home or watching it. So bear with us. We'll have to need some crowd control. Charlie can take care of that like last year. We'll have to set up a little canopy, so bear with us.
We're going to try to get our canopy set up like we did last year. We may bring some tape or something and try to mark off around us, because when everybody piles up against our little tent, it makes it hard for us to broadcast. Every time somebody stands up or sits down, it blocks the view.
Because they didn't let us in there.
Yes,
booths.
we are going to be in the bleachers this year. That's where they said that they want us. So we will be out there.
Right there where we were after the
Yes.
championship game.
Problem is, I doubt they have all the bleachers that they brought in last year, the extra ones. So they'll probably just have maybe 1, maybe 2 sets. It should be entertaining. But we encourage you to come out, watch that game. If you decide to go to Hobbs and watch Hobbs versus Centennial, which I think is like number 2 versus number 4 in the entire state, do that. Tune into ours and listen to our sound on our side while you're watching theirs.
Watch it on your phone and watch both games.
Both. Absolutely. So, any thoughts before we hang it up?
Lady Cardinals showed up tonight. They took care of business. That's, like you said, that's what we expected Tuesday night. And that's why we were so hard on them, because we know they're great players, they're a great team, and they continue moving forward in this district game.
Yeah, definitely proud of them. They got it done tonight. I appreciate everybody listening. For Jimmy Jones, and I'm not for Jimmy Jones, for Charlie Fairbrush, Rosendo Caballero, I'm Jimmy Jones.
Yes, sir, you are.
And we are going to be out. Listen tomorrow. We would appreciate you. Everyone have a good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.